I'll just go ahead and read from the book. You guys are lucky. First listeners. Planet number 4 has what I believed his entire world or a large section split into two. On one half, the trees are normal, and the other half of the trees are all black and carnivorous. Four, I'll call this smaller gentleman 4 because it's from the 4th planet. I have little names for them, but I don't want to be too human-like. So let's stick to the 4th planet now we're on, which is green, which means they're achieving photosynthesis, which I don't believe it's concealed. Excuse me. This smaller gentleman is the leader of that planet. He's approximately, I don't know, what did I say in the book? Yeah, he's probably like 4 feet tall, give or take. Similar to on our planet, we have dwarf humans, shorter humans that are of, older age. It's the same thing. I believe he comes from the same biology structure as that. He has dark skin, similar to, maybe the Indian culture, ethnic group. Has white hair, like pure white hair and balding, and longer eyebrows and a white beard. And his skin is slightly wrinkled, so he's of older age. He's in charge, or he wears a whitish gown, and he has a cane. There's a village that he's in charge of, and I believe the only female that I've seen, throughout this whole chain on our side. Could be his daughter, niece, I'm not sure. But she has black hair. And I'm assuming the dad, grandfather, whoever this gentleman is that leads this planet, has all white hair, so he's older. And I keep reiterating myself with these details because it's hard for me to fathom that there's another life form on a different planet. I don't know the constellation. I don't know the location. I don't know the galaxy. Is it Andromeda? Is it so? I don't know. I'm not sure. So getting to the point, on one half of the planet, it's just normal vegetation. The trees are normal. But they also have these sequoia-like trees that are insanely large and very unique, special, almost like a magical feel to it. But the normal color trees on the one half is just like ours. On the other half are totally black trees. And they're carnivorous. And what those trees eat are either crocodile life forms or crocodile eggs. From more further research in my dreaming, it could be that, well, I don't know. I'll just stick to that. I think they're crocodiles. but it could be pythons or some sort of similar, like mix between the two, like a python and a crocodile. And these trees, I didn't see it, so I can't verify it. Either scoop them up or something and process meat. Just like a Venus flytrap, maybe, except they're trees, so it's hard to fathom that. There's some sort of stench that comes from these trees that's toxic to Four and his people in the village. So Four, the leader, smaller gentleman with the cane, will walk up to these trees on the one side that's bright and green as opposed to the darker side, and he puts his hand in his arm, like on the inner side of his elbow, puts his eyes right there and places his arm on a tree and holds his hand backwards towards the darker trees and blows, and somehow the wind blows and the stench goes back into the darker forest. I don't know how long he does this. I don't know if it's weekly, if it's bi-weekly, if it's monthly, daily. I don't know. I'm not too certain on that point. But I will say this. The leader on Three's planet, the New Rain, has a brother. I call them the Peach Brothers. They're identical. They have to be twins or something. They're identical in size, shape, skin color, and I could draw it, what they look like. That's much later. I'm just here to talk about it through audio and on paper. Next, I will say where those Peach Brothers came from, I don't know. Is it that fourth planet? Is it a different planet? I am not 100% accurately sure. I don't know. One Peach Brother stayed on Four's planet, and he's in charge of going through that dark forest with a green suit on, like a skin tight green suit. And he goes through the forest with, ironically, some sort of wheelbarrow, and picks up either the droppings or something from these trees that I believe generate interstellar travel. I think his skin tone and his biology makeup lets him be immune to the radioactive chemicals or that stench that comes from those dark trees that are harmful. He's able to go through that forest and gather those things. And I'm sure there's a lot of those people that do that on a daily basis. His brother is now in that chair on planet number 3. The brother that's in that chair is, I don't want to be discouraging, but he's less humorous. He's more stern. He appears to be about as monetary something, but he's kind. The Peach Brother that's on planet 4 is very funny. It's my first interaction of humor on another planet. He's silly. He's quirky. He's got dances. They all do like these little dances that I would like to like show everyone someday. I will say that is about all the information I have on the fourth planet, other than the fact that they may use some sort of coin system with trees to communicate far away. I have no idea how that works. There is more to see in time. I will figure this out. That about does it for the fourth planet. Oh, actually, there's a few more things. When it snows near those dark trees, there are these like crocodile like worms that wiggle around when it snows. So either the snow can kill these trees, or something happens when it snows near these trees. That's what I have for the fourth planet. Thank you. Next, I would say the fifth planet in the chain. So let's refresh. We got planet number 1, Earth, the most beautiful of them all. Planet number 2, the blue planet, similar to ours, in the most politically, religiously organized in that sense, similar to ours, with what appears to be one world religion. Then we have planet number 3, the black planet, which is concealed, which the leader is in charge of a chair that somehow operates a lot of things that I am not knowledgeable about or equipped to sit in that chair, who's ran by this first Peach brother. They have reddish, maroonish eyes and a peach-shaped head that it's kind of two brains, something, one brain, but it looks like it could be two brains. Or it's just the way their heads are shaped. They'd probably look at my head and say I have a peanut brain or peanut head, like a small head, which is cool. I'm okay with that. We're humans. We're beautiful. All of us. A fourth planet is ran by 4, the smaller gentleman, dark skin, white hair. He's balding. And the second Peach brother, the more humorous one, is in charge of gathering the fuel source, which I believe is for interstellar travel. Whatever the element is, I have no idea. I'd say the fifth planet it gets more vague when you go out further. I can't see like that. But the fifth planet, I had a split second where I was thinking about a scientist. He's alive. He's one of my heroes. I respect this man with my heart and my soul. I owe him a lot, but I don't owe him anything. I'd love to meet this gentleman one day and talk science. I had a vision while awake on the fifth planet where I was trying to see more planets. And then boom, I saw it, the fifth planet. And it was all plastic. The entities were plastic. The whole planet was plasticky, melty, something. And that's all I got. So that's the fifth planet. I can't really get into too much of it. It was hard to see. But very plasticky, like the whole thing. And they were happy. The sixth planet Uncertain. No data. I wasn't writing things down at this time, and I apologize to Earth. The seventh planet, one of my favorites, and I think it's the last one in the chain. It is unconcealed, which means it can contain photosynthesis, blue skies, trees, vegetation. It has a Jurassic feel to it, where I saw one pterodactyl. I know what a pterodactyl is. We all have seen them in elementary school. Museums, TV shows, cartoons. It was a pterodactyl. On this seventh planet, there was a river. On one side of the river were these gargantuan, giant men in loincloths. They had African American skin color that was light skin. And I was like, finally, we can see humans. But they were so large. They must have been, maybe 100 feet tall. 150 feet tall. Come on. That's remarkable. They were just sitting calmly on the side of the riverbank. And they were very muscular, but they were just meditating. And then on the side of them were smaller versions of them that looked like our size. Average male, 5'9", 6 foot, 5'8", 6'2", something. And loincloths. But they only let me see the back of them. And they were just meditating right there in the river, just sitting. And that's about all I got. For the planets. I'm sorry. I tried. Still trying. But I'm also to the point where I don't really give a crap, but I want to live my life. Get back to normal. But I can't. There's more to see. So bear with me. That about wraps it up for planet seeing. But I will say this. There is some sort of intergalactic battle. Which the first rule of intergalactic battle is there's no battling. There's no battling. That would defeat the whole purpose. Hypothetically, we get a visitor from another country. We would want to clean up. We'd want to have a nice opening and a little ceremony. Everyone's paying attention. Everyone's shaking hands. We're exchanging food, gifts, walking around cities. It's the same thing. But there's a chain. You see, before we get visitors on Earth, planet number 2 is decided, certainly, that they're going to be first to come to Earth. But they want this extravagant grand opening with the grandmother ship. And the grandmother ship has this long stairway. And I've had visions of her walking slowly down her hand is on the left pole coming down. She's holding onto the rail and she's walking down slowly in this large blue and black gown with her boots are leather boots. They look like leather boots that are pointed. She's walking down the stairs slowly and she sees me. Her eyes are big and I don't know if it's a mask or something, but they're red and we're black. She's walking down slowly to Earth and she sees me right there with my head is slightly lowered. But raising it to best as possible. It's very difficult for this grand opening. They're not going to arrive until we've achieved world peace. Now, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. In my heart, it's an amazing thing. It's the same thing on Earth. We're not going to go to a different country if there's wars going on, or if there's battling or confusion or religious altercations or economic disagreements. It's the same thing. This is another life form traveling extremely far, and pre-harnessing that thing takes a lot of energy and a lot of fuel, I'm assuming, which isn't cheap for intergalactic interstellar travel. So it's my beliefs that when we have 1 year of no world battles, wars, then they will start to arrive. Is it a one-way trip? Here's the kicker, Earth. I'm going to give it to you face value. I'm not the man to be set up by another planet. But I will say this. If they arrive, guess. Are they going to leave? Well, do you think they have enough fuel, or do you think they brought some seeds for some trees? Are we going to get some technology from them? Certainly. Are they going to teach us aerial non-propulsion stuff, enhance our equipment in America and other friendly countries? I'm assuming, but it's more of a patrol thing, because at that point, there's no wars. We've already achieved that thing. That's why they're here. So it's kind of like they just fly around and kind of everyone just like goes inside for a few hours while they fly. That's all they want. That's all they ask. Everyone just go inside. They're gonna do their little rounds flying in the sky, and kind of teach us how to do that. That's what I got off it. So hold on. Okay, we're still recording. Yes, that's what I got off it. Now, with that being said, there's a chain of 7 planets. The last one being the Jurassic planet, and the first one being Earth. There was an intergalactic battle that will take place. And how long? I don't know. But on the other side, there was another chain of planets, which I'm assuming the most human-like planet. I don't like calling us the runts of the bunch, but we appear to be much smaller. Our craniums are smaller. And we have propulsion systems. And we have like a steamboat, other things like that, non-propulsion. But I'm specifically saying like rocketry, jet fuel, jetliners, stuff like that. Combustion engine. I'm not sure. I don't study it. But on the other side, I've only seen one single biology structure, entity, being. And she is very human-like. I always thought there was an orange planet somewhere in the top right somewhere my whole life. I don't know if it was the sun, something, but I was something in the top right. What is that? It's orange. And I finally saw it. It's not orange. It's just another world, just like ours. But this woman appeared to be in her mid-20s. And as I remote viewed her, she kind of like, just like how everyone does. When we're remote viewing each other, all these different entities, we kind of like, whoa, jump back, because we never seen anything like it. It's kind of like, whoa. She had hair past her chin, brunette, light brunette, Caucasian, olive something. And her cheekbones resembled like a Roman gladiator helmet. Like their cheekbones went like this, a straight line, like down to the sides of her mouth. The top of her cheekbone, and there's very prominent cheekbones. She probably looked at my cheekbones and was like, that's strange. But I'm like a little bit older than her. And she's like in her mid-20s, maybe late 20s. And that's all I got. But I know based off intuition, there's a long chain on her side and a long chain on my side. And I tried to acquire more planets. And I'm sure she's doing the same thing. It's very nerve-wracking to be in this position. But in the center of both chains, there is... Sorry. I haven't told anyone about this. I'm very nervous. And my words are getting sputtered around incorrectly. In the center of both chains is a inhabited Earth-like planet where there's no living beings on this planet. And during this intergalactic battle that may or may not ever happen, or we come to terms, we may be planet seeding there one day. Or we can all get along and put two of us on that planet and we'll put two on there, and it'll be a whole mess load of a whole bunch of stuff on one planet, which would be, you know how history goes. Who's got the best religion? Who wants the most land? How are we going to divvy it out? We're all going to live together? We're going to speak different languages, the same language? We don't know. But as the planets are concerned, there were two more planets, yes. And I apologize, Earth. I traveled down a wormhole for 2.5 years on my free time, which led me to the third planet, whatever. That's how I met this gentleman. But also, I'll get into the black hole thing and the wormholes later. It's very confusing to explain. If I had a diagram and a dry erase, it'd be very simple. Boom, there you go. But I don't, so just listen to my words, please. As I travel down that wormhole and black hole, I traveled down the wormhole for 2.5 years, met the third planet, got it. So I got all the information from all the other ones and did all that. Then after that, a small, I guess they call it a primordial black hole. That's the best thing that I looked up that was similar. Created one of these in my room while awake. Condensed. I felt like the world was collapsing on me somehow. Created this thing. And then the next day, traveled through it. And then a whole bunch of planets appeared on the dashboard, which looked like a dashboard of a spaceship or something. I don't know. And knowing me, I'm just traveling around. I'm like, oh, I like this one. I like this one. No, this one's whack. This one's good. This one's cool. This one's chill. Oh, I like this one. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know why I did that. That's how I met the green and black planet. And I was like, no. No, thank you. Then I saw this maroon and pink planet, and I was like, no, thank you. So, I eventually, after I snapped out of all that, I was like, wait a minute, wait. Okay, I'll take the green and black one. You take the pink one. And I didn't like ask the woman on the other side. I kind of just, I said, here, this is you, this is me. And we're good now. So do we have 8? Please, Earth, can we have 8? Can we get a vote? That green and black planet is concealed. I had an extraterrestrial encounter with this green planet, which is in control of that V with the 6 lights underneath, which I want to say got upset. I'm sorry, Earth. I may have failed. They got upset. They said, look, we did the V thing. And you kind of disrespected us. So they gave me a little nightmare. Okay, so what? So what? Someone ever got mad at you and you kind of like, talk about them behind their back or something and they got upset? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That pink Maroon planet houses, I don't know if it's concealed. It could be. Houses these pink octopuses, which potentially is another fuel source on their side of the chain, which is this pink, black, bubbly. Have you ever seen like Pompeii? How the volcanoes do that little bubbly thing? Like in Pompeii, a live volcano. It's just like that. A little gas popping up of it. Except it's pink and black and it's a whole planet. There's like some sort of queen on that planet. Has these big ears and kind of looks human-y with eyeballs. But the machines are like not these spidery things, but they have these long legs and a little head. And they keep telling me, do not enter. They're like, do not enter. Like in a spooky voice. And it's kind of scary. They have these octopuses that are pink and they are extremely intelligent. I didn't know octopuses were that smart. They like play mind games, trickery, kind of clever, mischievously, but they're cool. But they're like somewhere in between that. Cool, not cool, something. Getting back to the green ones on a green and black planet that's concealed. I had a remote viewing experience that was unique in the sense that they're quiet, hyper intelligent, and they pointed at a TV screen. They pointed at me, then they pointed at the TV screen. And like, look, this is where your ancestors are from. And they showed up with like a briefcase and like a long jacket and a hat. I'm not going to say, it doesn't matter what city it was. And then after a couple of days, I'm like, whoa, I'm in deep contact with these green ones. And I got abducted. Kind of remote viewed into their planet. Astral projection, something like that. I don't really call it any of that. I don't have terms. If I wrote down terms, there'd be so many terms for all these different things. As I entered their planet, I was on this like operating board or something. And they were around me and they were like, well, you're here. What can you do? What can I do? I can't do anything. You tell me what I'm supposed to do. They said, do your thing. I closed my eyes. It's like, all right, I'm going to show off a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. And do you remember how the first AI videos came out? And they were kind of like, the heads were like wobbly everywhere and like kind of moving around like clankety, and looked like kind of scary, not scary, but kind of eerie, as opposed to now where AI is like, whoa, it's like top HD, quick. It's the same thing. So I showed him football. And then like the helmets were like kind of like moving around and people were trying to throw the football. It looked weird. That was like my early AI, I guess. That's the best way I describe it. I showed him football, never mind which teams. Yes. So after that, I think I showed them, I don't know, I didn't write any of it down. But we'll say this. After that experience, I immediately hit the road and traveled across the country. I had to see it. What? This location where they pointed. And also, I had to get a little bit south, see what was going on down there. And I had the same experience with these green ones. I don't need to tell you the place. Very strong energy. They're not to be played with, but I believe they're on our side now. I sincerely hope so. You see, because the thing about planet seeing and their aerial technology is they are not playing around with looking at it, taking bits and pieces and giving it to other people or disclosing the information. It's just like America. It's proprietary. Stealth bomber. The paint on the stealth, I'm not trying to get too like political or military, but the stealth bomber, the paint on that thing, I could imagine the proprietary locked up in a box, no one's getting to it, or you're going to be in big trouble, Mr. or Mrs. or whoever you are. It's the same thing. So I have the advantage of seeing the future of their technology. Whereas on this V, with the 6 lights for the green ones, on the back left, there's just a little black area, like it's extended. That's it. I saw that for them. I blessed them. I gave that to them. That's you. You take that. I haven't verified it. I haven't seen them pull up in a dream where they had that thing. Now, the larger triangle on from 2's planet, the back left had the blackness on their triangle. So they got that. Now, Earth is my witness. Religion is my witness. As humans, agnostic, atheist, sorry. As my witness, I messed up. I did a no. I took a light bulb from, yes, relax. Took a light bulb from the green ones, from that V, and I blessed 2 with it. So here you go. I got a light bulb. What's up? And they somehow upgraded somehow. They must have downloaded whatever I saw. I don't know. But I was like leaving the green ones out. I didn't play them. But they may have thought that, hey man, that's like petty larceny right there. Probably grand larceny. Who knows? So I did that. Now, that's about it for the UAPs, the planets, and the arrangement of that. And I am seeing no vehicles on the other side of the chain. Nothing. And on the 7th planet, on our side, the Jurassic planet, I didn't see anything flying except that pterodactyl, which is ironic that 2's hand glider with the invisible cloaking shield with the handlebars has those pterodactyl wings, like it was living somehow. But I don't know. There is one last thing I have to tell everyone. that you may or may not be too happy about. How do I put this in peaceful words without like making everyone's mind go, whoa? I'll start with the seventh planet. One of my favorites. Either on my favorite, whatever. There's a large tower. And at the top of the tower, there is an encasing that houses a small baby that is entirely white skin with a belly button in some sort of fluid. And it is the most powerful biological entity I have ever had the grace to be in their presence, which is it's so strong that you can't even get near it without it destroying your mind. But guess what? They like cute stuff. They like like a kitten or a puppy or something like that, or like a stuffed animal. But they can sense your thoughts. So you gotta be chill. You gotta be cool. On the sixth planet, unknown. Fifth planet, I didn't see a tower with a baby. Fourth planet, with the forest and then the darker forest, definitely has a tower on the darker side of the trees, which is a big black tower where there's like a family of them. That smaller white, it's not white, it's like yellowish, whitish, grayish baby with a belly button is in that tower with like a red laser at the top, which if any of the green vegetation starts to get over onto the black side, I believe it just shoots out that with the laser or something. I don't know. Didn't see it, but I'm assuming something like that. Top of that laser, top of that tower is red and black that houses that baby. Very, very powerful. Ooh. Makes my voice quiver. The third planet has a child too. Or has a child. I don't want to confuse it with the numbers and stuff. That third planet has a child. But it's not in a tower. It's in some sort of container that's fluidy, which also has bubbles. I saw the bubbles. So that means what? It's probably breathing or something. I don't know. Two's planet, most similar to ours, or not similar to ours, but the most politically affiliated with like red and blue something. That planet is housing the baby too. Except it's in the grandmother shit. In this, have you ever seen the Jell-O with the peach pieces in it? Or whatever fruit is in that? It's like red, kind of jiggly, but there's like little fruit pieces in it. It's the same thing and it houses a baby in it. The same kind of baby. Very, very powerful.